Ever had one of those vacations that just goes hilariously wrong?
Oh, yeah.
Well, today's deep dive is all about how to handle those curveballs that life throws at us.
Hmm.
And you know what?
What's that?
It all starts with a story about a not-so-romantic getaway to Hawaii.
Ooh. Ooh. Tell me more.
We're going to be taking a look at a talk called Turn to the Lord.
Great title.
It really is a great title.
Yeah.
And it was given by Bishop W. Christopher Waddell.
You picked a good one.
Oh, good. I'm glad.
This isn't just about, religious stuff. It's
Right.
really about something we all deal with.
Yeah.
How do we bounce back when things don't go according to plan?
Exactly. And Bishop Waddell kicks things off with this anecdote about being in Hawaii,
Okay.
ready for a romantic moonlit walk on the beach.
Sounds nice.
But his wife isn't there.
Oh, no.
It's his mother-in-law.
Oh, my goodness.
Can you imagine?
You can't make this stuff up.
No, you can't.
But it's a funny way to get at a serious point.
Yeah.
Life rarely follows the script that we write in our heads.
Mm-hmm.
The key is it's not about what happens to us.
Right.
It's about how we choose to react.
So it's not about wishing our problems away.
Yep.
It's about deciding how we'll deal with them.
Exactly.
And speaking of dealing with things,
Yeah.
Bishop Waddell brings up this incredible story about a man named Hyrum Shumway.
Okay.
Imagine landing on Omaha Beach on D-Day,
Yeah.
surviving that,
Yeah.
only to lose your sight weeks later from a landmine.
Oh, my goodness.
Talk about a life-altering event.
I know.
I know.
Wow.
And you know what's amazing?
Right.
Shumway's response is what makes him a true hero.
Mm.
He could have easily given in to despair,
Right.
but he focused on what he could still do.
Yeah.
He got married,
Uh-huh.
had 8 kids,
Good for him.
built a successful career helping others.
Wow, what a guy.
That's what he was telling the universe.
Yeah.
Bring it on. I'm still in the game.
I love that.
His attitude is summed up perfectly in what he told his wife before they were married.
Yeah.
If you will read the mail, sort the socks, and drive the car, I can do the rest.
What a guy.
I know what a guy.
Seriously.
It really drives home the idea that we are not defined by our circumstances.
Yeah.
Bishop Waddell reminds us we are all children of God,
Mm-hmm.
and no challenge can change our eternal potential.
I love that.
I love that.
It's so empowering.
Yeah.
That's where the idea of agency comes in.
Okay.
We always have the power to choose how we're going to react.
Okay.
Shumway chose resilience.
Right.
He chose to find meaning
Mm-hmm.
despite his challenges.
Yeah.
And that is a choice that is open to all of us,
Mm-hmm.
no matter what we're going through.
So even if it feels like the world is caving in,
Yeah.
we still have that power to choose our response.
You got it.
And Bishop Waddell is quick to point out
Yeah.
that those challenges we face, they come in all shapes and sizes, right?
Absolutely.
He talks about death,
Mhm.
divorce, illness, natural disasters.
Oh, yeah.
Life can throw some serious curveballs.
It really can.
I know.
Yeah.
The point is,
Yeah.
while the details might be different for everybody,
Right.
the need for hope and healing
Mm-hmm.
is universal.
Yeah.
Whether it's losing someone you love,
Right.
dealing with a health crisis,
Yeah.
or just feeling completely lost.
Yeah.
We all need ways to cope
Right.
and find
Correct.
strength.
And that's where Bishop Waddell brings in the idea of Christ's atonement.
Okay.
Now, for those who are not familiar,
Yeah.
it's the core of Christian belief
Right.
that Christ's sacrifice allows us to heal and reconnect with God.
Okay.
It's not just about being good,
Mm.
but it's about the power to overcome anything.
I see.
And Bishop Waddell emphasizes that it's the source of healing for any wound we experience.
Okay.
Physical, emotional, you name it.
And what's fascinating about the atonement is the empathy it represents.
Oh, yeah.
It's not just some distant figure
Right.
offering generic advice.
Right.
Christ experienced every human struggle.
Wow.
So he understands our pain,
Mm-hmm.
our grief,
Mm.
our doubts,
Yeah.
because he's been there.
Yeah.
That's something to hold on to when things get rough.
And that empathy aspect is key, right?
Absolutely.
It's not just advice from some unrelatable figure.
Nope.
He gets it because he lived it.
Exactly.
This is where it gets really interesting.
Okay.
It's not just forgiveness of sins.
Hmm.
It's about finding strength in the middle of our struggles.
Yeah.
Knowing that Christ truly understands what we're going through.
And that understanding gives us the power to control how we respond.
Okay.
It doesn't mean they magically disappear
Right.
or become easy,
Yeah.
but it does mean we can tap into that strength to move forward,
Okay.
to choose hope over despair.
So we're not denying the struggle,
Nope.
but we are saying we have the power to decide how we'll face it,
Right.
to illustrate this point.
Yeah.
Bishop Waddell uses a powerful example
Okay.
from the Book of Mormon,
Right.
the story of Alma and his people,
Okay.
who suddenly find themselves captured.
They're in this situation totally out of their control,
Yeah.
unjustly imprisoned.
Wow.
And their reaction is so instructive.
Okay.
Think about it.
Yeah.
Our knee-jerk reaction today is often to blame someone,
Oh, yeah.
even God,
Yep.
when things go wrong.
Right.
But Alma's people did the opposite.
Oh, really?
They prayed.
Hmm.
They turned to God for strength and guidance,
Interesting.
which is interesting because
Yeah.
their healing didn't come in the form of immediate release. In fact,
Yeah.
Bishop Waddell quotes Elder Oaks,
Mm-hmm.
who says that healing blessings come in many forms.
Okay.
Sometimes it is a cure,
Right.
but sometimes it's the strength to endure or a newfound understanding.
Yeah.
So maybe it's not about our circumstances changing, but about us changing on the inside.
Mm-hmm.
This raises a question for you.
Okay.
What kind of healing do you need right now?
Oh, that's a good question.
Is it a shift in perspective,
Okay.
more strength?
Yeah. Or just feeling God's love more deeply.
That's such a good point.
Yeah.
We often focus on that external fix, but maybe the real healing happens within us.
I think so.
And Bishop Waddell goes on to tell this captivating story
Okay.
about the brazen serpent
Okay.
in the Old Testament.
Right.
The Israelites are getting bitten by poisonous snakes,
Oh, no.
and God tells Moses to make a bronze serpent
Okay.
and put it on a pole.
Right.
Anyone who looked at it with faith would be healed.
I see.
It's a powerful image, right?
It is.
The symbol of healing
Mm-hmm.
offered to those who choose to look towards it. Yeah. It makes you think,
What's that?
what are the brazen serpents in our lives today?
Good question.
What are the things we can look to
Yeah.
for healing?
That's where the connection to our lives today comes in.
Okay.
The brazen serpent represents all the resources that God gives us
Okay.
to help us turn to Christ.
Right.
He doesn't leave us to struggle alone.
Mhm.
He offers tools for healing, but we have to choose to use them.
So he's giving us the roadmap,
Mm-hmm.
but it's up to us to actually take the journey.
You got it.
And speaking of roadmap,
Okay.
Bishop Waddell gets super practical
Oh, right. I like
and lists several modern brazen serpents.
Okay.
He starts with the basics,
Yeah.
studying scriptures, praying,
Mm-hmm.
and taking the sacrament.
These are like the foundation, right?
Yeah.
The bedrock of our faith. They
Mhm.
connect us to God,
Right.
open our hearts to his influence,
Yeah.
and nourish our spirits when we need it most.
It's like building that spiritual muscle.
Yes.
So we're strong enough to face the challenges.
Exactly.
And he doesn't stop there.
Oh, there's more.
Bishop Waddell also mentions going to the temple,
Okay.
receiving priesthood blessings, seeking help from counselors,
Mm-hmm.
even using medication
Okay.
when appropriate.
While turning to God worked for Alma,
Right.
some might argue that seeking professional help is equally important.
For our mental and emotional well-being.
Right.
The key is finding what works best for you.
I love that he includes things like therapy and medication.
Yeah.
It shows that God works through lots of different channels, not just purely spiritual ones.
You're all right.
It's not an either situation.
Yeah.
He wants us to use all the tools available to find healing.
It's about recognizing that taking care of our mental health
Right.
is just as important as our spiritual health.
Absolutely.
And it all circles back to that idea of agency.
It does.
We have to choose to use these resources. It's not passive.
Right.
We have to put in the effort,
You got it.
whether it's through prayer, therapy,
Yeah.
or reaching out to our support system.
You mentioned medication earlier,
Yeah.
but doesn't that sometimes contradict the idea of solely relying on faith for healing?
Right.
Where do we draw the line
Yeah.
between seeking medical help and relying on our faith? That's a great question.
Yeah.
And honestly, there's no one-size-fits-all answer.
Right.
Sometimes using medication can be part of exercising our agency
Okay.
to care for our whole selves,
Mm-hmm.
body and spirit.
Right.
It's like, imagine a car with a flat tire.
Okay.
You wouldn't just keep driving on the rim and pray for a miracle, right? You'd change the tire.
Right. Yeah.
Medication can be like that.
Okay.
A tool to help us function while we work on that deeper healing.
So it's about being wise. and using all the resources available to us
Yeah.
without feeling like we're failing if we need extra help.
Exactly.
And it goes back to that image
Yeah.
of the Israelites choosing to look at the brazen serpent.
Mm-hmm.
They had to make the effort
Right.
turn towards the source of healing.
Mm-hmm.
It wasn't automatic.
Exactly.
It required action,
Mm-hmm.
a conscious choice.
Bishop Waddell really drives that point home.
Yeah.
When he says, whatever change in life's circumstance may come our way, and whatever unexpected path we may have to travel,
Right.
how we respond is a choice.
Okay.
Turning to the Savior and grasping his outstretched arm is always our best option.
He's not pretending the challenges are easy,
Right.
but he's offering a message of hope. Even in the toughest moments, we have a choice.
Yeah.
We can turn toward the light or stay stuck in the darkness. And sometimes just knowing we have that choice is enough to keep us going.
And remember what Elder Richard G. Scott said.
Okay.
True, lasting happiness comes from centering our lives on Jesus Christ.
Right.
There's no guarantee of overnight results.
Okay.
But in the Lord's time, solutions will come. Peace will prevail.
Okay.
And emptiness will be filled.
That's such a comforting thought.
It is.
It's not about avoiding hard things.
Right.
It's about facing them with faith, knowing we're not alone, and choosing to turn towards that source of strength and healing.
Yeah.
That's always there for us through Jesus Christ. So much of what we've talked about today comes down to those individual choices.
And that brings us to a powerful question.
Okay.
Bishop Waddell poses. It's not just enough to hear these ideas.
Right.
It's about putting them into action. What's one brazen serpent?
Okay.
One resource
Yep.
you feel drawn to this week?
That's a great question.
Is it deepening your prayer life?
Okay.
Seeking a priesthood blessing? Reaching out to a therapist?
I love that question.
Yeah?
It's a call to action.
It is.
It's like, all right, we've talked the talk.
Mm-hmm.
Now let's walk the walk.
You got it.
What's that one step
Yeah.
we can take today to move towards healing and wholeness?
As you consider that step, remember Hyrum Shumway? He didn't let his circumstances define him.
Right.
He chose resilience.
Yeah.
Chose faith. And built a life full of purpose.
That's such a powerful reminder
It is.
that even when things seem impossible, hope is never lost.
Nope.
And we find that hope by turning to Christ,
Yeah.
trusting in his love, and using those resources he's made available to us.
It's a journey we can all take, no matter where we are in life.
Right.
And the most important step is always the next one.
Right.
That choice to turn towards the light, see healing,
Yeah.
and embrace the journey
Okay.
with faith and strength.
So keep diving deep, friends.
Yes.
Explore those brazen serpents, those resources calling to you.
Yeah.
And as you do, may you find the strength, healing, and peace that comes from turning to the Savior.
Absolutely.
Until next time, happy diving.